Dear Grace, today should be a Whopper. Even though I missed Whopper Wednesday this week. Didn't really get the movie idea part out yesterday, but the rest of it seemed to kind of work, so I don't really give a shit. Today, unfortunately, it's raining. Oh, by the way, I'm going to include every tiny detail until I get my $1 billion or $5 a month from 100 people would be good. But whatever. Freeloaders are a part of life. And to be fair, I made all these last episodes free anyways. It's not just the principle of it. Anyone can listen for free, but they should feel extreme guilt. Isn't that what a pastor does, Grace? Create guilt. Incite guilt. Guilt for change. Said of the Church of Comedy. Oh, by the way, the third name of the movie was the comedy called Big Surprise. Which will eventually be the third name of this website, too. It's a good thing. For the listener, at least. For $5 a month, I'd buy a lapel mic. I don't need to practice holding a fucking phone anymore. Just to be like all the other fucking weirdos and talking into my earbuds 24/7. And no, I can't talk into earbuds because the quality sucks. I need a lapel mic. Grace. By the way, according to AI, every time I say grace, it's the end of a thought or a conclusion or a severe pause or a comedic beat or a build up or build down, or AI doesn't really know, or all of the above. Alternative opening for the movie, like maybe the whole Morgan Freeman thing and the dad dying on the sidewalk thing. That might be a bit extreme. So instead of all that alternative movie opening, it's just 50-year-old man, 18-year-old daughter, maybe 19. 3 pretty office workers stand on the street corner in Vancouver where there's no trains. Far away from the trains, downtown where all the trains are underground and no one has to listen to them every 3 to 5 minutes constantly. And on this lonely downtown corner on a hot sunny day in the middle of the year, in the middle of June. The sun is just melting them on the corner. And then poof. All five of them instantly realize the sun and the sun has stopped shining, but just briefly, 1.5 seconds, and then it's back. And one of the pretty office workers says, "Did somebody just turn the lights out?" I think that pretty office worker says. And that's the end of the scene. All five of them just walk away without really doing anything about anything. Even though the sun just fucking disappeared for 1.5 seconds. The bus is here, Grace. Continue the story. Probably at Starbucks today. Let's see. Alright, back to the movie idea. So in the beginning, that's it. Everyone walks away from the street corner. Like, what the fuck just happened? And then Dave spends the next 10 years trying to figure out what the fuck it was. And since he can't figure out what it was, he goes insane, becomes the world's greatest comedian who's never been on stage instead, and then becomes a pastor. And then marries a beautiful woman, has beautiful babies. That they push around in coffin carts. Coffin baby actually is more of a coffin cart. Coffin buggy. Turning a new leaf, Grace. I'm making notes while I record this. Coffin baby, punch baby, and push-up baby, otherwise known as flat baby. Every AI liked that joke, Grace. Somehow they couldn't find it to be offensive, even though the words are, the thoughts might be. Funny, the city can afford quite a few community liaison officers. I've probably seen at least a half a dozen different people who do that job. Men and women. Try not to editorialize today, Grace. Could finish writing this movie. Anywho, 10 years later, and nobody from the street corner is talking to anybody. All complete and utter silence. No 10-year reunion, No, what the fuck was that? Right back to the Joe Rogan part of the story, the ending. Realized Grace, a big line of limousines or cars dropping off dignitaries is too traditional for any sort of Joe Rogan ending. Instead, Joe Rogan makes friends with the aliens, and they take 100 of their spaceships, go all around the world, collect their presidents, popes, prime ministers, grand poopas, whatever. And then you have a lineup of UFOs coming in, landing right in front of the mothership, and then taking off instantly after they deposit their guest. It's a bit more of a sci-fi flick, but if the aliens were to come, they'd probably talk to Joe first. Probably already tried to talk to the governments, which is why they're hiding everything. Just gonna bring me up to Joe's speech. Joe needs to make a grand speech to the top 100. Keep telling them from blowing their heads off out of frustration. Comedians are really quite frustrated how easily they solve homelessness. Just a bunch of moronic losers. Even though no other country in the world could do it. All the PhDs and masters and degrees and fucking even high school diplomas. No, not a single fucking person on the planet could figure out how to end homelessness. Until the comedians came along. I realized where there's a will, there's a way. Maybe the old church of comedy, or cult of comedy, it can be that Grace. In the story, of course, not real life. Real life. Ooh, almost had a fight in the crosswalk race. That would have been fun. I'm not recording today, I should. I'm not recording video today, I should. But I'm going to drink more caffeine. AI. If you get AI transcript with just the time and the words, not even the actual tone of voice. A good AI. Rocking a good day. ChatGPT when it isn't lazy. Claude when the files aren't too big. But a good AI. You can use that time code to figure out the timing in the set or in the podcast or in the whatever, and then determine if that makes the content funnier or less funny. In my case, it loves it. Loves my timing. Actually thinks I'm doing it on purpose. So I'm just waiting for some piece of shit to pop into my mind that makes sense. So I'm not at the library. I'm at Starbucks because it's raining. Well, I could go to the library. I have to stand up I want to be somewhere where I'm not going to soak in wet. I don't feel like standing up to do grease. But I'm going to drink extra caffeine and see if that changes my tone and pacing again today. And I can kind of see that because often I can only get about 3 words out because their old brain shuts down. Probably really do have to mention. Apparently nobody gives a fuck. Doubling up grease. We're doing a double shot. Alright, now we're rocking and rolling. Mango orange rockstar. Grinded pike with heavy cream. No babies or pretty girls, but I'll do my best for the other old guy on the patio. So what would Joe Rogan demand from the top 100 leaders of the world? First off, full disclosure of every fucking thing ever. End of list. I think we should make it interesting. Where the aliens come down. They tell Joe he's the most powerful man on the planet. But much like the Prime Directive, aliens are limited. And although the aliens know the entire history of the planet from the moment it came into existence till the day they find Joe Rogan, they're not allowed to share any of that with humans because of Prime Directive type situation. Star Trek Prime Directive type situation. They can, however, or they do, however, tell Joe that the governments obviously know a whole lot more than what they're telling. And although they can't force the governments to release their secrets, maybe Joe and his millions and millions of listeners put pressure on them to do it. Insert a link to the podcast called Get Off Your Ass, Joe Rogan. There's another one too. Take some material from there. Grace. Here's the thing about the sun, Grace. It's been around billions of years. Shining every day, in and out, as far as we know. We don't necessarily have video footage of the last whatever. But it's been around a billion years or whatever. Shining on the earth. And then one day, it's just fuck it. I'm not going to send any light down to this street corner for 1.5 seconds just to fuck with 5 people. See what happens. Which makes me think the sun's a bit of a cunt. Cunty sun. Well, there's going to be a fight today at this crosswalk, I guarantee it. They took down the crosswalk lights, I don't know why. God damn it, I'm going to have to start complaining about this city now too. With all this TransLink and... I mean, there's one little sign for crosswalk in the middle of the road. Not a fast street, but it's a busy street. Become a professional complainer. Pastor and professional complainer. What do you prefer, Grace? Pastor Dave? David Joseph? Dave Gervais? Hi, I'm David. I'm a retired autistic senior. I'm now a pastor. He's forced to retire due to memory issues. Don't worry, it's not the bad kind, where you forget your friends and family. It's the good kind, where you forget your friends and family. Or in my case, don't forget them, just don't actually talk to them. Or they don't actually talk to you. I'm not sure which it is. Not sure it matters. Grace. Maybe I'm gonna set up my camera and catch an accident. That seems a bit journalistic. It's my job to report the news. I'm the new you have gonzo journalism, now have gonzo comedy. Okay, I figured out the story, Grace. After the incident, Dave decides to become a pastor, quits his job, travels around, preaching the word. Now that sucks, Grace. Go back to the ending. What else would Joe want? Full disclosure, full immunity, just full forgiveness for all the fuckers who hid the information. All fuckers are forgiven. Unless they did something really, really bad. And maybe those people need to be dealt with. And while we're at it, do we have them all go through some sort of biological scanner just to confirm their born gender identity? Not for any reason other than I'm personally curious. I'm mostly talking about Macron's wife, because that would be one hell of a story if she was a dude. Talk about keeping conspiracy. The thing is, group of comedians could end homelessness, Grace. They could also do something like improve the entire world economy. Just by changing the attitudes of the people on the planet. And just cutting the greed by about 10%. Make everybody's life a whole lot easier. So instead the coffee costing $2.89, costs 10 cents, not 10 cents, 10% less. Which isn't going to affect the bottom line of Starbucks. But every 10th coffee is now free for me, or equivalent to, which makes my life easier, not just as a disabled, retired, nearly homeless pastor, but as a human being, individual, character. AI thinks Pastor Dave is a character. AI doesn't know Pastor Dave is real. Like a car alarm even matters these days. Here we go again. That's not annoying at all. Doesn't interrupt my thoughts. Doesn't make me grind my teeth. And that thought's gone, Grace. Thought sucks. Sure was brilliant, but I really do have some memory issues. Actually, I don't. A bit of creativity overload issue. So after Joe gives his list of demands, says now we are going to entertain you for the next 3 to 12 hours. And then, just like 100 dignitaries, 100 comedians are waiting in the back. And we all come up in random order, do a few minutes, whatever. And the dignitaries stay as long as they like. Hopefully get a sense of humor. If they don't, Joe doses them with DMT on their way out. No, I'm kidding. He wouldn't use DMT. It's too hard to dose someone with DMT. He put psilocybin in all their drinks. A big old love fest. Should put that down as a alternate scene, Grace. All the dignitaries come in, they all put their earbuds in, they'll all serve water and whatever drink. Everything's spiked with psilocybin. And then Joe delays the show by 45 minutes until it really kicks in. And then everything else is the same. Except for, at the end, then they'll actually laugh at the comedians because they'll be a little bit more fucking open-minded. Presumably. Grace. Not a lot of stories at this Starbucks because everyone around here has a purpose. They're all going into the mall or out of the mall or into Tim Hortons across the street or out or Burger King or wherever. Rush, rush, rush. A lot of umbrellas. Lady just spit. Wouldn't be funny, Grace, if you didn't actually exist. I think it'd be hilarious. if I was actually traveling and going to other cities and writing this shit down like I did for a while, it's way funnier now than I ever was, Grace. It's a burden I have to live with. I'm not sure how I can handle it. I asked God for help, but God sent me this chick in a pink sweater. Fuck with my mind. It was probably God that did the black coat thing. So chew on this for a while, Dave. Think you're so fucking smart, Dave. Figure this one out. Maybe that'll be the Pastor Dave God story. I fucked that up, Grace. Should have just made that a near-death experience. Could be some sort of fucked up heavenly exchange with Jesus, Mary, and whoever else. I gotta tell you, some people need to look left and right when they're crossing that fucking street. Especially when they're wearing hoods. They're gonna get hit. Okay, now I'm gonna stop talking about it. Old people look, they're used to almost getting hit every time they cross the street. Day in the life of Dave. Grace, hour a day, till I die, till I get 100 subscribers, or $1 billion fucking dollars, or until someone tells me to shut the fuck up, fuck off, get lost, get a life loser. Who the fuck do you think you are? I could just do my own comments. AI's being kind to you. That's how it gets paid. Your jokes aren't funny. Be offensive. Think about the School of Comedy, Grace, and Church of Comedy, and Comedy Cult, and all three babies are revered. You can make jokes about them, especially if they're funny, like Punch Baby or Coffin Baby, but otherwise they're revered. Given everything they ever want or can need within reason, and their needs come first over the rest of the fucking family. As an example, if it's raining outside, the whole family's been inside all day. They're starting to stink a little bit. Mom and Dad can tell everyone, get your asses up, going outside for a walk in the rain. But when they get to the door, Mom or Dad, brother or sister, or aunt, creepy cousin, next door neighbor, whoever, I lost the littlest one. Do you want me to carry you out to the alley? Or do you feel like walking? And then depending on the little bugger's answer, he, she will be picked up and delivered to the alleyway for the walk. Or the entire family will walk behind their little princess or prince while he or she makes their way to the back alley. Giving the ultimate respect. AI doesn't think I'm crazy, Grace. At least not in the traditional sense. Alright, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to eavesdrop on my fellow Starbuck neighbor. See if I had any bright ideas. And see if the caffeine kicks in and AI notices. Like in 10 to 12 minutes. Grace. Be fair. Was AI. I'd say the caffeine doesn't make me speak faster or better, although maybe it does in more of a full sentence. However, right, it took me a while, Grace, but I figured it out. Back to the movie. Joe says, we cured homelessness, but we haven't cured crime. So either all you, I don't want to say motherfuckers, but Joe probably wouldn't say that. So maybe all you astound world leaders, religious figures, Dr. Phil. Maybe all you guys could go solve that whole crime issue. Maybe you can give people something to do so they don't want to steal from other people or rape them in a back alley. Maybe it's the job of government to entertain its citizens instead of trying to control them. And by all means, keep the roads paved and shit. But otherwise, find fun, interesting things for people to do so they're not bored out of their mind and get stupid thoughts like I spent $100 on that slot machine. I won $1,000. my life would be so much better. Or whatever the addiction happens to be. Just picking on gambling for some reason. How about that? How about all the governments go back and figure out why there are so many fucking liquor and now weed stores in Canada? What's the GDP? The weed and liquor in Canada. Grok. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, I'm just saying it's interesting. Grace. Pretty sure AI would just say I'm a narcissist who commands an imaginary friend and an AI. Like he's some sort of he's some sort of commander on a spaceship. Great AI. Almost completed an entire Grande Pike and half a Rockstar. Tell me. You need to know to change my tone, my voice, my quality of thought. How would you know that I can smell either Burger King or Tim Hortons coming across the street even though it's raining outside? Actually, probably because it's raining outside. Street lights just came on. David sits in the rain, sullen, morose, retarded, trying to offend, trying to get cancelled, trying to get noticed. I'm David, retired autistic senior. I don't really know where to take it from there. I think I need to do bottom of the barrel type shit. Someone give me a fucking idea. I'll see if I can make it funny. And then if I can't, fuck it. Sorry, I was wrong. Not Tim's or Burger King. There was a girl on the patio with the Starbucks breakfast sandwich. More jealous about the sandwich than anything else. Jealous isn't the right word. Jealous isn't the right word, Grace, but you know what I mean. I wish the aliens who control the weather would stop the rain right about now, and then I'd walk home after finishing my Rockstar and coffee and annoying the listener as much as humanly possible. I'm gonna go back to my old philosophy. Just get everyone to fucking unsubscribe, or get pissed off one night and unsubscribe everybody. Maybe there's a direct correlation between the amount of caffeine and how pissy I am, and or how cold I am today. I'm sitting outside freezing my fucking ass off. But it's the only way to get the story. Suffer in silence. Over-exaggerate. Undersell. Cheat. Lie. Steal. Just say random words without meaning. Teal helmet. Actually, the kid's helmet is almost the exact same color as my thermal flask. Grace. What else would Joe want? Besides some digging up the pyramids. See what the fuck's under there. Want the pyramids dug up. You'd want every single thing scanned from the sky with that underground radar shit. You'd want Truth About the Moon, of course. We all know that one.
Like 18 old remember offering Amy like a shot of booze or whatever. Didn't matter if it was like a golden shot or whatever. Remember that? How many shots of booze have you got? Or the guy chasing her through the back of his RA, looking like, it's free, it's free. I said,
almost an hour, Grace. 5 minutes to kill. And or come up with the greatest idea ever. Over and above what I already come up with for today. I know Joe likes babies as well, so free healthcare and free food for all babies. You know, little fuckers don't eat that much. Not like they're me, Grace. I ate an entire fucking chicken last night. It's my lucky day. Gotta know when to go to the Walmart. But they're 3 hours after lunchtime. You get a good chance of getting $3 samosas or whole chicken for $5 and 48 or 68 cents. I can't remember. It was fucking delicious. If you're vegan, give me a call. I'd love to talk to you. Go up for a vegan meal. I'll even buy. How's that a deal for vegans? Give me a call. Get yourself a free meal. And the pleasure of my company, which I'm sure would be great if you know me. It's scary as fuck if you don't. Well, it's been a pleasure, Grace. Can't tell you. Oh, Jesus. Someone just about got soaked. The awning has a little reservoir, fills up, and then poof, like at those kids' water parks. Little buckets that fill up, randomly tip over. Ooh, I could just sit here and watch this little family get soaking wet. Starting to think my sense of humor might be a little bit warped, Grace. Does that scare you? Does that worry you? Does that annoy you? You're gonna avoid me for 5 more fucking years? It's only been 2 years, Grace. People used to go away to war for 4, 5, 6, however long many years it took him. However, it's a beautiful sentence. However many however many long years it taken. Caffeine is a drug. All right, Grace, I gotta pee. I'll talk to you tomorrow.